You certainly know what British guards look like, whose main task is to protect Her Majesty. Red outfits, shoulder weapons, and funny-looking high fur hats. And although the work they do is extremely mysterious and unique, only a few facts about it are known to the world. Have you ever wondered if they're hot when they're standing there, or how do they take care of their needs while serving? In today's episode, we will show you some interesting facts about the British Royal Guard that you had no idea about. I invite you to watch. You can't touch them. The Queen's Guards are known for standing still, stone-faced, and staring straight ahead most of the time. They do not respond to any taunts from passers-by. Some people, for example, take photos with them, and all this is permissible as long as we do not touch them. Physical contact is strictly prohibited and may end badly for us. It's important to remember that these guards aren't just there for fun. This is their job, and they take it very seriously. One of Her Majesty's rulings is that guards must not be touched or threatened. There are videos on YouTube showing what can happen when someone makes fun of them. During a visit to Windsor Castle in the UK, a young man made fun of a guard by imitating his behaviour. Then he placed his hand on his shoulder. In a split second, the guard had his rifle trained on him and was ready to fire. The Queen's Guard are skilled soldiers and should not be underestimated. You can take a photo with them, but remember that they are not there for our entertainment. That's why it's worth being careful. If we get too close to the guard, he may stamp his foot. This is his first and last warning. They faint from despair. Did you know that the Queen's Guards have special guidelines when it comes to unconsciousness? Although it may sound funny, it is actually true. Guards often faint while on duty, especially on hot days. A warm uniform and a fluffy hat at 30 degrees is not a good idea. As soon as the guard begins to feel dizzy, he must continue to stand at attention, maintaining the same posture while falling, even if it means falling flat on your face. They relieve themselves standing. If you are the type of person who often has to go to the bathroom and can't stand it for long, this job is probably not for you. Her Majesty's loyal servants have no breaks to attend to their needs whenever they want. However, they have carefully established instructions in which cases they can do this. This must be done quietly so that no one notices their disappearance from the precinct, or they must find someone to replace them. Imagine that you are a guard, and during a ceremony in front of thousands of onlookers, you suddenly leave the line and go to the bathroom. Something like that is out of the question. Guards are trained to stand at attention in the face of anything. From extreme weather conditions, screaming people who are even a few centimeters from their faces. The Royal Guard requires a strong character and iron will. It may help that the guards do not stand at attention all day, but change every 2 hours. In addition, it does not help to maintain the need for the fact that they have to drink a lot of water before starting service to avoid dehydration. As one former guard revealed, when the need is urgent and it is not possible to go to the bathroom, guards can relieve themselves down their pants' legs. The pants are designed in such a way that it is not visible to other people. However, it must be admitted that further service in such a case becomes extremely burdensome. They must be sad. As unbelievable as it sounds, it is true. The guards must have a serious, even sad face. If a supervisor sees a guard smiling on duty, he or she may be held financially liable or even fired. The job of the Queen's Guards is very serious. If someone is naturally funny and smiling is their natural facial expression, there is nothing to look for in this profession. And while maintaining a sad face doesn't sound like a difficult task, guards often have to deal with civilians who want to make them laugh at all costs. Of course, they are not aware that this way they can cause problems for the guard. People working in Her Majesty's service often face the threat of smiling. They think about the penalties they may face for this, and it certainly helps keep the sad look on your face. They give the Queen a nickname. For many years, a rumor has been circulating around the world that English rulers were given various pseudonyms for security purposes. Of course, formally, the Queen should be addressed as Your Majesty, or Queen Elizabeth. However, her very informal nickname is Sherry. The total name, which is said to have been given by security officials, is used when the Queen makes public appearances. Sometimes it is shortened to one letter S. A royal aide wrote these letters while traveling for safety before visiting another city. When asked what the S stood for, the aide whispered that it meant Sherry. Historian Hugo Wickers believes this rumor is highly probable. It is very possible that Her Majesty received some kind of nickname because the name is easy to recall and is inconspicuous. The Queen is not the only head of state who has a nickname. For example, former US President Barack Obama hid under the secret pseudonym Renegade. Hats are very uncomfortable. Some people, looking at the Queen's Guard, may think that they don't wear hats and just have thick hair that grows from their terrifyingly egg-shaped head. The truth, however, is a bit more mundane. The history of the hats worn by the Queen's Guards is quite long and complicated. They were originally made of real bear fur and often lasted for decades. In order to favor the protection of the environment and wild animals, the Queen introduced a decree to modify the composition of hats. The Queen's Guard recently tested synthetic fur hats. The hats, which are high and made of fluffy bearskin, were combined with synthetic material and sewn to the uniform to make the guards look taller and more intimidating. The original fur hats cost over $64,000 each. However, the replacement with artificial fur did not meet expectations. The hats didn't look as good as a real fur hat. In addition, they quickly lost their color. Their only advantage was much less weight. Hats made of real bearskin can weigh between 2 and 4 kg, and if they are exposed to rain or snow, they collect water, becoming even heavier. The bear hat is very heavy. So much so that if it is shot down, for example, it can break a soldier's neck. That's why new wearing systems are being developed all the time. As we have already mentioned, one headgear can be used for many years. Caps are only replaced when they become damaged beyond repair. One of the guards claims he has a hat that dates back to 1968. So the hats are not mass-made, which is certainly beneficial for the animals. It is also comforting to know that the black Canadian bear from which the hat is made is not on the endangered species list. Becoming a guard is very difficult. To apply for a job with the Queen, you have to go through many complicated steps. We must pass a half-hour computer test to be considered a potential Queen's Guardian. This exam tests problem-solving, analytical, and logical skills. In addition, the test checks whether the recruit will be able to adapt to difficult tasks that may await him in the future. If we pass the test, there is still no guarantee that we will be included in this elite squad. In addition, you must be at least 178 centimeters tall. The title of Queen's Soldier is awarded to distinguished members of the infantry and cavalry. These guards are tasked with protecting official royal residences in the UK. Their weapons are usually not loaded. Due to their job of ensuring the Queen's safety, the Royal Guard needs protective equipment for both Her Majesty and for herself. Each guard has a standard sniper rifle SA-80 intended for British royal duties. Although these weapons are rarely used, the more dangerous an area is patrolled, the greater the chance that it is loaded. When the guard detects a threat or we disturb him, after the first verbal warnings, he has the right to point his weapon at us. If it turns out that the attacker is unarmed and does not pose a major threat, the guard is able to detain the suspect and call for backup without having to shoot. And although apparently in most cases the gun is not loaded anyway, it is better not to check it yourself. When going on a trip to England, it is worth remembering all the facts that we presented in this episode. Many tourists see the Royal Guards and joke about them and treat them as an ordinary tourist attraction. However, It must be remembered that this is very hard work, and for many people performing it is one of the greatest honors. This concludes this episode. What do you think about such work? Would you be fit to be Her Majesty's guard, or are you not patient enough? Be sure to let us know about it in the comment. That's all for today, and see you in the next episode. Bye.